How you doing? I'm Justin Myers. I'm the head cross-country coach. Before I begin, I would like to remind my beloved fellow coaches of what Polonius told Laertes in Act 2, Scene 2 of Shakespeare's Hamlet. Brevity is the soul of wit. Because what happens every year is we get up here, we start, and we're flowing nicely, and then one guy gets up, and it's not the same guy every year, but one guy gets up and he talks for like 15 minutes, and he goes on way too long, and then the next guy up is ready, and he's got a nice 3-minute speech all prepared, but then he feels like the athlete in his sport is going to feel slighted, and so he gets up here and he tries to make his speech longer by improvising. And we're not going to do that this year. Guys, time's up. Don't feel slighted if you have a short speech, okay? Because short speeches are good, improvisation is almost always bad. Okay, but thanks to Mr. Franchari, I will stop and get started now. I'll leave it at that, because if I keep going, then my speech will be too long, and that would just be ironic. The Cavalier Award for cross country this year goes to a junior who's been part of the program since the middle school team. He's one of those guys who we simply would not have the success that we have had without him. During his freshman year, he was kind of in the middle of the pack on the varsity squad, which is pretty good for a freshman, but he worked tirelessly out of his own initiative in the summer going into his sophomore year, working out on his own and running on his own. And he came to that season in great shape, and he's been one of the top 5 runners ever since. And I think in particular this year, his dedication really shone through, and he really stood out of his dedication. He wants to do well. He wants the team to do well. He never misses practice, even when his mother tries to tell him that he should skip practice and spend some more time on his homework every once in a while. And I tell him that that's okay with me. He doesn't listen to either of us, and he comes to practice and does his workout. And he is the type of kid who I never, after he has a race, I never tell him what I thought of his race. I never have to tell him whether I thought it was a good race or a bad race, because he's never satisfied. Because his drive comes from within. Because of that, his last 2 years, his best race of the season has been at the state championship. And he's been instrumental in our winning the state championship the last 2 years. And also, what's also very important, I think, in the equation, is that he's always been a very good friend to everybody on the team. And I think that is important. Several guys have remarked as much to me over the years. I think he's the type of kid that everybody's just glad, not only because he helps us win, but by virtue of his winning personality, everyone's just glad that he's along with us. I know I am. So the Cavalier Award for cross country this year goes to Dan Lilly.
To acknowledge a couple of other people, programs here before that may not have been touched on with the Cavalier Awards. It was a little bit, but there's another Hadley graduating this year, and so I think with that it would be a good idea to talk a little bit about the cross-country team. Justin mentioned a couple of things, but Greg's a senior, and a couple of other seniors here, Mr. Herrick. These boys have been a part, in their 4 years here, they have won 3 state championships. I don't know what happened in the year that we lost, but I'm sure Greg will have an answer at barbecue afterwards.
Coaching.
Not sure. Coaching problems. But really, the current seniors and juniors, I think, are just a great example for every other sport and program here as to what hard work and commitment to your sport can do. The summer is a brutal time around here weather-wise. I know last summer was especially, but Greg and others, Philip, Alan, ran all summer long. Kept the guys running, and I know they'd run by people's homes in Maryland and grab them and take them out and keep everybody running all over Montgomery County. And it's very easy when it's going to be a 95 or 100 degree day to skip out on that run. I've done it for the last 20 summers. But really, their dedication is just a great example for us to see what the benefit is that in November, the last 4 out of 5 years, we've won a state championship, and I know we were competitive in that other year. And so these seniors here have left